Have you ever had that feeling that there must be a better way to advertise on Facebook? A way to get much better results? Well, you weren't wrong. There is. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in this video. It's called the Omnipresent Content Strategy. And if Facebook ads are important to your business, this is a video you are going to want to pay close attention to. So what is the Omnipresent Content Strategy? It's a longer term approach to Facebook advertising that is designed to put you and your business in front of your ideal customers more often and more consistently than any of your competition, and do so in a way that develops a relationship between you and your customers so that you become the only business they want to buy from. That is what really winning with Facebook ads looks like. And when you go through the exact steps that I'm about to show you, you're also able to charge much higher prices. Let me give you an example. I regularly sell 1-hour consulting sessions for £1,000 each. That's about $1,300 that I get paid for a 1-hour Zoom call. By the way, you can go and book one of these on my website if you're interested. Now, you might be wondering how on earth I manage that. It's because of the Omnipresent Content Strategy. I have developed a relationship with my target audience. They know who I am and they know the value that I can deliver. When no one knew who I was 6 years ago, I couldn't sell a consulting session for £10, let alone £1,000. At that point, I just blended into the sea of Facebook advertisers, just like everyone else. Ready to create your first omnipresent content campaign? Let's do it. Head into Ads Manager and click on the green plus create button. Then select the reach objective. If you've got the new campaign objective menu that Facebook is rolling out and you don't have reach, you can use awareness instead. It works exactly the same. Then click continue and give your new omnipresent content campaign a name. Then navigate to the ad set level. There's nothing else you need to do at the campaign level for this type of campaign, and you certainly don't want to turn on campaign budget optimization. Scroll down and set your daily budget at £1 or $1 or an equivalent for this ad set. Don't worry, that'll make more sense in a minute. Then scroll down to the audience section. When it comes to targeting for omnipresent content campaigns, you need to do things quite differently. Instead of targeting a broad audience and then allowing Facebook to work out who best to target, we're going to be really specific and narrow down our audience instead. The best option for you will depend on your business and whether or not you already have an audience. If you already have a warm audience with 10,000 people or more in it, firstly, congratulations, that's awesome. Then you can go ahead and target that. And that warm audience doesn't have to be a particular type. It could be an email list, it could be website visitors, it could be Facebook page engagers, video viewers, whatever you have. Creating custom audiences is beyond the scope of this video, but if you want more info on that, check out the video description below. There'll be a link to a full custom audience tutorial video there. If you don't have 10,000 or more people in a warm audience yet, no problem. You can use detailed targeting options for now. But first, we need to add in the other targeting criteria. Let's start with location targeting. Change the top bar to people living in this location. Then enter the location where the majority of your best customers live. If you're a local business, that's likely to be an area around your location. If you sell your products or services nationally or internationally, then I'd recommend choosing one country to start with, or potentially even a state or region if the country you operate in is highly populated. Remember, we want to be more specific with our targeting here than we usually are. Here's why. The ideal audience size for an omnipresent content campaign is just 50,000 to 100,000 people. That's much smaller than I would usually recommend, and you want to keep that in mind as you add in your other targeting criteria. Next, you need to select age range. How narrow or wide you go here depends on your audience size based on your location targeting. Local businesses will likely need to stay quite broad, whereas national and international advertisers often want to be more specific. Next is gender. Some businesses are heavily skewed one way or the other, but for the majority of businesses, all will do the trick. Then, assuming you aren't targeting a custom audience, we move on to detailed targeting. Enter a term that is related to the products and services that you sell. Then click on suggestions. That will bring up a lot of targeting options that are related to whatever you entered. I would then go through the most relevant ones and see which ones give you an audience size that's 50 to 100,000. You may need to adjust some of your other targeting criteria such as age and location in order to get the right audience size. Ideally, you would only use one detailed targeting option here, but if all the relevant options are too large, then you can use the narrow audience function. Doing so makes your audience more specific and can reduce your overall audience size. Then scroll down to the placement section. Here we cannot use automatic placements. When using the reach objective, Facebook will show your ads in the cheapest and lowest quality locations across Facebook and Instagram unless you specifically tell it not to. Select manual placements instead, then remove the audience network, and then scroll down and remove anything that isn't feeds and stories. There's a lot of placement options, and getting rid of the lower quality ones is well worth it. By doing this, we are making sure that your audience will only see your ads in locations where they are much more likely to engage with them, which is obviously really important. Then scroll down to the optimization and delivery section. Now, this is one of the most important parts of an omnipresence content campaign. We're going to set a frequency cap. Frequency caps limit the number of times someone within your audience sees your ads over a certain time period. Now, Facebook kind of hides this feature, but here's how you do it. Right at the bottom, click on the Show More Options button. Then click Edit alongside the frequency cap and change it to 1 impression every 5 days. I'll explain why in a minute. Then you want to click out of the ad set, and then just underneath the ad set name, you want to click Duplicate. I want you to go ahead and create 9 duplicates. That gives us a total of 10 ad sets in this campaign, and we're going to create 1 ad for each ad set. Those of you who follow my content will know that that's way more than I would usually recommend for a normal campaign. But we're not creating a normal campaign. We're creating an omnipresent content campaign. Now, we've created 10 different ad sets and given each one a frequency cap of 1 impression every 5 days, because we want an ad of yours to be shown to your audience twice a day, every day. And we want to make sure that your audience is shown different ads each time so that they don't get bored of them. That's what this campaign structure is allowing us to do. 10 ad sets, 10 ads, each one can only be shown to your audience once every 5 days. That means your audience should see 2 different ads each day on a 5-day rolling cycle. Are you still with me? It's actually not as complicated as it sounds. And once we've got it all set up, it will make more sense. The next thing we need to do is create the ads that we're going to put into these 10 ad sets. With an omnipresent content campaign, you want your ads to tick a number of boxes and achieve different things. There are 4 categories of ads you need to create. The first is value. Value ads are designed to deliver value. You do that by using content. Show your audience how to do something they want to do, or how to avoid something they want to avoid. For example, for my business, I could advertise a short video that shows people how to install the Facebook Pixel. Or I could advertise a blog post I've written on the most common Facebook ad mistakes that people want to avoid. This helps establish your business's expertise in your industry and helps build a relationship with your prospects. After all, everyone likes people that provide useful and free help. The second category is demonstration ads. If your audience doesn't fully understand what you do, how you do it, or how the process works, they won't buy. Demonstration ads are designed to solve that problem. They are designed to show how you deliver your service, or how you make your products, or how your product works, whatever it happens to be for your business. That openness is important for building trust with your prospects, and it shows them what things will look like if they decide to go ahead and buy from you. Video is usually the best way to do this, but it could also be done in a slideshow ad format or a carousel ad format if that's easier for you to produce. The third category is client testimonial ads. These are quite different to the demonstration ads I just mentioned. These ads shouldn't focus on how you do what you do. Instead, they should focus on the results you have achieved for previous clients and customers. These ads go one step further and show your prospects that you can deliver fantastic results for them or create an amazing product for them. And the proof is that you've already done so for people just like them. If you can get video testimonials from your previous customers, then that's ideal. But you can also use image-based testimonials or even text-based testimonials if that's appropriate for the products and services that you offer. Just make sure you don't miss this ad type out. The fourth category is call to action ads. This is the most straightforward ad type in an omnipresent content campaign. They are simply designed to encourage your prospects to take a specific action. That could be big things like inquiring into your services or purchasing one of your products, or you could include smaller call to actions such as signing up for a free webinar or joining your email list. If possible, I like to include a few different call to actions. The best options here are obviously going to depend on your business and what you have to offer. When all put together, your ads are going to look something like this. To make sure this video isn't 10 hours long, I'm not going to cover the specifics of ad creation here, but you can find a whole bunch of separate videos on that topic on my YouTube channel. Now, before we get into what type of campaign you should be running alongside your omnipresent content campaigns, there are a few things we need to address. Firstly, the elephant in the room. Yes, it does take quite a lot of time and effort to create an omnipresent content campaign. There's just no getting around that. Fortunately, because of the structure and the frequency cap, it does take a lot longer for ad fatigue to become a problem, which means you can often run an omnipresent content campaign for 3 months or 6 months or longer without having to make any adjustments. So over time, it can actually be less time consuming than a standard conversion campaign. Secondly, the cost of advertising to your audience that frequently can add up over time. That's why we start with just £1 or $1 per ad set per day. But that does mean the omnipresence content strategy works best for businesses that offer at least one product or service that costs $1,000 or more. Now, I can imagine a lot of you will be thinking, this doesn't apply to me, and you'll be headed out the door. But hold on a second. If you're advertising on Facebook, you really should offer something that costs $1,000 or more. It doesn't have to be your core product range or service offering, but you should have a larger ticket item that some of your customers will be interested in. Even if only a tiny percentage of your customers purchase it, that can make a big difference to the overall profitability of your Facebook ad campaigns. Let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say you have an e-commerce store in the tennis niche. You could offer the ultimate tennis bundle with 4 different rackets, 9 different outfits, 3 different pairs of shoes, etc. Or you could team up with a local tennis club and offer membership or coaching packages. You could even create a tennis product subscription where customers get new rackets every 3 months, new balls every couple of weeks, etc. Over time, you'll get some customers over the $1,000 mark if you have the right offers. Seriously, don't dismiss this. Take a bit of time and give it some thought. Thirdly, omnipresence content campaigns do not generate fantastic results overnight. They are designed to develop a relationship between you and your prospects. That process takes time. The longer you run an omnipresence content campaign, the better your results get. It's something you really need to commit to for the long run. And you shouldn't expect to generate significant volumes of leads or sales within the first 6 months, which is why I recommend you run another type of Facebook ad campaign alongside your omnipresence content campaign. That way you can build really well for the long term, and you can also generate new customers today, tomorrow, and next week. What is the other type of campaign you should run alongside an omnipresence content campaign? I show you exactly what it is and how to set it up here. If you can get both an omnipresent content campaign and one of these campaigns running at the same time, you'll crush your competition and enjoy epic results.